I was tagged in a tag. It is all about books that have altered your view on life, which I think is awesome. Bookometer created it. She also tagged me. Thank you very much. She explained in her video how she thinks that nonfiction books really alter your life, and I completely agree. All of these are nonfiction except for one book, and the one book is based on another person's life, so it's practically nonfiction. I have 5 books to share with you. The first one I don't have a hard copy of, so we're just gonna get that one out of the way. It is The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch. Randy Pausch knows that he's going to die of cancer, and this is basically his life leading up to it. He wrote the book, and it's all about pretty much how he wrote his last lecture because he was a college professor. One chapter meant so much to me that I actually photocopied it while I was reading it and put it up on my billboard as a reminder to myself to always show gratitude to others. It has definitely changed me too, because I find myself showing gratitude more often than I usually would, or than I would in the past. This one talks about how each time someone would edit a paper for him, he would send them Thin Mints as a little thank you, and I just thought that was awesome. So yeah, that one definitely stood out to me. The next one I'm going to show you I actually just finished reading very recently, Fun Home by Alison Bechdel. This one takes a close look at family relationships, and it really opened my eyes to how much a parental figure can impact your life without them being super close to you. While Alison wasn't super close to her father, their relationship together just completely changed her life. She was actually more so like him than she would have ever thought. He committed suicide when she was in her 20s, but she found that they really had a lot in common, and that was scary and lovely all at the same time. I highly recommend this book. Graphic novel memoir. Really fantastic. I'm definitely going to reread it soon. Next one I have to show you, I wrote all the papers on because it is so fantastic. The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. First of all, Jeanette Walls is a beautiful writer. This is one of my favorite novels on the subject of homelessness. And I know I talked in my previous video about how I have this weird thing about homelessness. It's not particularly that I love homeless people or anything like that. I just think that the subject is really intriguing. Technically, if you're homeless, it doesn't mean that you don't have a roof over your head. You could be homeless and still have a roof over your head, and the definition itself is just really interesting. Jeanette Walls gets out of her life of homelessness. As she was a child, she was definitely considered homeless, but that was all her parents doing, and she thought that she was on an adventure the entire time, and it just really opens your eyes to the pure and simple definition of homelessness. It's really a fantastic novel, a fantastic memoir. If you don't usually read memoirs, I would definitely recommend this one to start out with. Next one, Let's Explore Diabetes with Owls by David Sedaris. I didn't love all of the stories in this, but one of them completely stood out. In the one story that I'm referring to, David Sedaris is talking with one of his friends, and his friend is teaching him how to be successful. His friend said that there are 4 very important things in the world: your family, your friends, your work, and your health. And in order to be successful, you probably have to take one of those off of your radar. And in order to be very successful, you probably have to take 2 of those off of your radar. That got me thinking on a whole different level. It's really crazy because you really see what you put on the back burner and what you need to reel more into your life, and it's a really interesting way to think about things, and I thought it was so great, and I think about it all the time. David Sedaris and his stories, some of them can be really fantastic. The last one is Fear of Flying by Erica Jong. This is the one that is sort of based on the author's life, but it's still a fictional story. If you are a woman, I highly implore you to read this novel. It's very fantastic. It's not as sexual as it would appear. She is a very blunt writer, but at the same time, it just makes you feel really good about your body and what it means to be a woman. And while being a feminist novel, it doesn't feel like a feminist novel. It's just a very blunt story about a woman and her relationship and her body and how she is feeling at that exact moment in time. And it is fantastic. It really made me feel better about myself as a person and a woman, and I loved it. It was so good. These are all books that I know that I'm going to reread in the future, and I totally recommend them as well. As I've been saying this entire video, they are all so fantastic. They really did alter my views, and I would be really interested in knowing what altered your views. In the comments below, please tell me what books have altered your views. It would be really interesting to know, and since this is a tag, I am going to tag some people. And then obviously, if you guys want to do this as well, anybody else, please feel free. I thought this was really interesting and just a fantastic thing to talk about. I will see you guys very soon. Bye!